And we are live! Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ring the Bell Live, where we get a nice little panel of people to discuss this week in WWE Women's Wrestling. I'm your dad bod demigod, Joey Mayberry, and joining me this week we have, of course, looking very Moana right now, the Sriracha Muchacha Paloma Star is in the house.
Hey everybody, coming at you live from my car. Yay.
We've been having some ladies on wheels the last couple weeks in Ring the Bell Live.
We're just women on the go.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then wrestling's musical diva is also here. She is going to serve it up to you, Miss Shalance Royale.
Woohoo! Thank you so much for having me back. I am excited. Oh, yes.
Come on, Christina. I love it. And then our extra special panel member.
Extra special.
Extra.
I just like making a RuPaul reference when I get to do this. So
I love RuPaul.
if you don't know her, you obviously didn't watch NXT because Izzy is here.
Hi, it's your girl Izzy. I'm here. I'm back on Ring the Bell. I'm so excited to be on. Thank you for having me today. This is going to be a lot of fun.
This is going to be so much fun. So before we dive into our main topic, I want to apologize to anyone watching last week. I know, Shalance, you were one of them. We missed a little bit of super chats because honestly, y'all kept throwing them in there and I couldn't keep up because the system was scrolling. So I do apologize. We will get to more super chats today. If we, for some reason, miss one, please know you have all of our love and we love you so, so much. But speaking of love, our main topic this week was a veritable WWE legend not getting shown much love by WWE. We got to talk about this because normally we stick to just what happened on the shows on Ring the Bell, but this Mickie James story has completely blown up the internet. Everyone is talking about Mickie James. So if you haven't heard about it, Mickie James was released in the Great Firing of 2021. And then she posted a picture on all of her social media showing that they sent her gear back to her in a trash bag. It got so heated that Stephanie McMahon apparently responded and ended up firing Mark Carrano from WWE because of this, apparently. This is some tea. This is pretty big. Paloma, I'm going to throw it to you first. How do you feel seeing Mickie James get all of her stuff in a trash bag?
It was very jarring, to say the least, for sure. But I think her most recent statement about it really sums it up really well. It was almost symbolic of how her unfortunate treatment was her last run here. Excuse me. And I think it might have been just this is how they do it in the company. And obviously she wasn't the first one, as has a lot of other people, and especially women, have come forward and saying that it was. But quite honestly, I think this is just a company culture thing. And quite honestly, it probably happens all the time in corporate America everywhere. But we just get to hear it now because, it's Mickie James talking about it. And I'm so glad she did speak out and say something about it, because regardless if it was malicious or if it was, Mark Rodden's fault or just a poor intern or PA's fault, it shouldn't be done that way. There should be different processes. Nobody likes to be fired, especially from your dream job as a WWE, to send your stuff in a trash bag. It's come on, you're basically punching down. You're already punching me while I'm at my lowest. So then you send your stuff to me in a trash bag. It is definitely disrespectful, but I think it says more of the corporate culture of a company. But I think with her last statement that she wrote out says that perfectly. Of course, she didn't necessarily mean for anybody to get fired, but if it does mean that this doesn't happen to anybody else, then I think it's a win. Because seriously, no matter what position you are, WWE, or whether you work at a random company in a cubicle, you don't want to receive yourself in a trash bag. It's just a bad look, and I'm glad that it's changing, and I'm glad she said something about it.
I'm really glad she said something about it, and it seems a bit just because Mickie James is such a veritable legend, and an undeniably a future Hall of Famer in this business. And to see her kind of get that treatment was pretty devastating. Shalance, you've been on some big stages with AEW. If you were in a similar situation as Mickie, how are you feeling about seeing something like that done to Mickie James?
That had been me, I'd been pissed. So I completely understand, especially how much time and effort and sacrifice that she gave the company. And I know some people don't care about that. They're just like, it's a job. Okay, well, I respected you as a company. Can you at least respect me upon my release? Like, it's just a respect thing. Don't give me my things in a plastic bag and then put that in a box. I don't know if it was just a bag or was it put in a box or whatever. But like, and then her name was written in like Sharpie or something, whatever. I'm like, could you at least print it on a piece of paper? Something? But no, but all jokes aside, it's just respect me because I respected you. I sacrificed so much. I gave so much just for you to give me my things in a plastic bag. I didn't dress in a plastic bag and go in the ring and wrestle. You know, like I didn't do it. I presented everything and did everything you wanted. I'm assuming. I don't know what happens behind closed doors. But this is how you treat me? This is how I receive my things? So I agree. And I'm glad she said something. I'm glad something was done about it. And I pray that they give a little bit more respect in the future to the people that they release.
Yeah, especially a Hall of Famer or a future Hall of Famer. And then I like how you're like, it shouldn't just be written on a Sharpie. I'm just now, for some reason, picturing like Mark Carrano be like, you know what we should do? Laminate that piece of paper. Let's do that. Izzy, so you're someone who has so much attention on you via social media, and I'm obviously very sure that you've seen a lot of what's going on with the whole Mickie James drama. How are you feeling seeing what happened to Mickie?
You know, it was really unfortunate what happened, and I feel bad for everybody that was involved in the situation. I did see the tweets that were put out from Stephanie, Triple H, and everybody else that was involved in the situation, and it seemed that the mistake and issue was solved right away. Now, I am really excited to see what the future holds for Mickie James because she is somebody that is so talented. She's a WWE legend, and wherever she ends up, her boss, the person that she's going to be working with, and the team that she's going to be working with, they're going to be extremely lucky to have her. So I'm excited to see where she ends up and what the future holds for her.
I love that. And I am really kind of intrigued by one thing, and I want to get all of your opinions on it. So the last time we saw someone get really big attention after the release was Drake Maverick, who was also brought back because he got so much attention via social media. Do you think now that this is blowing up the way that it has, that we could possibly see WWE be like, let's capitalize on this and try to bring Mickie back in? And is that something that you think is possible? Shalance, I'll toss it to you first. Do you think that they might try to bring Mickie in to capitalize on the publicity?
I don't think so. Or even if they extend that branch to her, I don't think she will take it. I think she's done. I think she will probably capitalize on other opportunities. I don't know. But I just don't think so.
I'm kind of right there with you, but I'm kind of hopeful. Paloma, do you think that Mickie has a chance of coming back for an in-ring opportunity, or you think this is it for her in WWE?
I do, but I don't think right now might be the good time. And I think a lot of people think like, oh, everybody's talking about her. She's really like trending. Everybody knows about this. But I think it could be some good time for her to do her own thing wherever she ends up. I mean, the kind of like the silver lining of her getting released is that she's so talented. Just like Izzy said, that no matter where she goes, she's gonna be awesome at it. But I think I would much rather have it like let it die down for a little bit, let it cool off, and let her come back in a few years if she wants to, if she's ready. But I feel like it'd be a good like cooling off period and have her go do. Because I mean, we see her succeed outside of WWE. No matter what she does, Mickie James is gonna be successful. So I have no doubt that she's gonna land on her feet. But for me personally, I wouldn't necessarily. I feel like almost would be too forced if we see her back right away. I would love to see her back in WWE eventually, but I think it might be too forced if we see it right now.
Right. This idea of this story has me kind of just getting all up in my head and being all imaginative. Izzy, do you think that we might be able to see Mickie parlay this into a WWE return, or do you think, like Paloma, that this might be her kind of little in for a stint for a while?
Man, there are so many possibilities that could happen with Mickie, and like I said before, I'm really excited to see where she goes from here because she, like I said, she is so talented and she's so special and unique. So like literally wherever she ends up, it's going to be something that is going to be monumental and is something that we're going to remember to this day. And I'm really just looking forward to what she has in the future and what she has in store for wrestling fans in general. So I think there's a lot to look forward to from Mickie James because she always has something up her sleeve.
She does, and I just want to say, she did go out, and a lot of people were like, "Oh no, Mickie James is a legend. She shouldn't be released." You know what? She kind of made lemons into lemonade with this whole thing of just saying, "Hey, did me wrong," and it got a lot of attention on her. So maybe now she can really make an impact if she goes to somewhere like Impact or AEW, because the fans are already kind of on her side and really hot and really anticipating that return to a bigger company. So maybe we'll get to see kind of a new revival of Mickie James, kind of a la what we saw when Victoria turned into Tara in Impact a long time ago. Yeah.
I'm made for hardcore country.
Oh my God, if this leads to the return of hardcore country Mickie James, you are going to see the happiest little gay man. Who am I kidding? I ain't little. You're going to see the happiest big gay man prancing around because I miss some hardcore country. Awesome. Cool. Anybody have any other things they want to say about Mickie James before we move into some super chats?
I just want to thank her.
Oh, wait, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, girl.
No, you're fine. I just wanted to tell her, just thank you for like everything that she's done and everything that she's done to contribute to women's wrestling, because she was one of the first ones that I noticed when I was younger. And I love her so much, and I just pray that I get to see even more of her,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with you. Mickie has paved the way for so many other women wrestlers. So like I said, the wait is so hard because I'm excited to see where she's gonna go from here because she always has something in the works, and that's why I love Mickie James. I feel like she's gonna pave her own way, and she's gonna create her own box, and I'm just really excited to see where she goes from here.
Yes, well, I think excited to see where she goes and the future is a great way to parlay into our first super chat that we got from Jaden Franklin, who said, "To me, it seems like the women's evolution is really only occurring in NXT. On Raw and SmackDown, we keep getting these short matches and lazy booking." I'll go ahead and start off with this one. I don't think that we're lacking a women's evolution. I think that we're lacking story for the women's evolution on the main roster, because I think we're finally getting a breath of fresh air with Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley becoming the new champions and kind of putting some new life into these brands. But for a while, it felt a little bit stagnant and a little bit stale. Izzy, I'm going to toss this to you. Do you feel like we're kind of losing a grasp of the women's evolution on Raw and SmackDown?
I feel like we're seeing a women's evolution everywhere, from AEW to NXT to Raw and SmackDown. I feel like we're really seeing a special women's evolution that is going to pave the way for the next generation of superstars. I will say, I feel like we are seeing a women's evolution on SmackDown, mostly because we saw Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair in the main event of WrestleMania. That was monumental. I mean, we're going to talk about that match for a long time. And we're seeing the women's evolution in NXT as well. We just saw the first ever women's NXT Tag Team Championships. And then Raw, I'm excited to see what happens next. Charlotte, I feel like she's creating her own revolution right now. Rhea Ripley, she's the Raw Women's Champion. I feel like she has a lot to show as the Raw Women's Champ. Then you have Asuka. There is so much women's evolution going on around us. So I feel like no matter what, the women's evolution, it's living and thriving.
I Can someone in the comments like screen cap that whole monologue? Because that was just like so good. I was like,
Thank you.
come through. Paloma, I'm gonna toss it to you next.
I
How
know.
are you
I
feeling?
want to vote
I know she froze.
for president. Or
Oh, I kind of got that. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, that gave me a chuckle. I can't breathe. Paloma, how are you feeling about the women's evolution on Raw and SmackDown at the moment?
I think people tend to forget that evolution is an evolution. It doesn't just all happen all at once and it's all fixed like this. Like it's little by little. Like like a fish shouldn't just come out of water, have legs, and talk all of a sudden. It takes time. It takes different steps. And evolution has ups and downs. You know, it has peaks and valleys. Not everything's gonna be like high rise, high intensity, 20-minute win matches every single week. No, it's gonna change. It takes time to produce these. It takes time to change. So at least as we're moving forward, I think it's positive. Even though it's moving slowly forward, it's still moving forward, and I'm happy with that.
Shalonce, how are you on the women's evolution right now?
I agree with them both. And Paloma kind of said what I was going to say. It's like it takes time. It's not all going to happen like instantly right there. So I think that, especially as a worker, I'm okay with it taking time because I need them to hold off a little bit so I can get there, so I can make some history too. Because they make it all right now. What am I going to do? You know what I mean? So
I love that.
Take their time.
Yes. Total pop for that one. Sorry, I feel like I need like 2 sets of eyes because I'm like looking for super chats and then trying to like how we do it. But we just got another super chat from Donald Music Reacts, who said Chelsea Green deserves better. She hasn't been with WWE for that long, and I love the Iconics and can't believe that they released them. This is probably going to be a hot topic for many of people for the next couple weeks because WWE didn't just release certain women, they released women who fan favorites in the Iconics, prospective newcomers who people loved in Chelsea Green, and legendary Mickie James. So people are still kind of distraught over this one. But I also agree that I think Chelsea Green did deserve a little bit better in WWE. I was kind of excited to see where that character might go because we all are well aware of how honest to God talented Chelsea Green is. That girl she could talk her way and read the phone book, and I would be entertained. No lie. Shalonce, of these releases, how are you feeling about them so far? Do you feel like anybody was released prematurely?
Oh, yeah. Because, like, when they're iconic, so my heart, I had to, like, light a candle and say, like, a prayer because I didn't realize that the Iconics were let go. Like, when I read the article, for some reason, I didn't see them. So I think my brain was like, lies. So it just tossed it out. But I had a small little conspiracy theory in my soul because it seemed like at least the women, and I'm still digging for some of it. I don't have all my facts, but it feels like the people that are let go had some sort of connection with someone or something or an event with AEW. Did you all pick up on that?
Oh, I didn't until you said it.
Yeah, so I know we don't have a lot of time to discuss that. So just people think about that, and I'll tell you guys why I feel that way. But just kind of do your research. It feels like these people that were released have some sort of connection with a person, an event, or something with AEW. And I'm not saying that WWE did that on purpose, but it just made me give like a little side eye, and I had to sip my little tea or something because I'm like, what are you saying? What are you doing? But I was shook. I hate it, but wonderful talent, and I pray that no matter where they go, that they keep thriving. And I really feel like they just let Chelsea Green, the Iconics, go. Samoa Joe, like I'm like, what? But okay.
I'm picturing you with like the photos and the pins and the string, like going, Mickie James connected to Nick Aldis and NWA is over here.
With that mysterious music in the background, and I'm trying to make the connections and everything.
You need some red string. Yeah, you need some red string. That meme where all the like equations are going through your head.
I love that. Izzy, I'll toss it to you. Were there any releases that were really kind of overall shocking for you?
I think overall, the whole process of the releases, it's really unfortunate. Like some people, their careers, they were thriving, and some people's careers, they weren't. They didn't get off the ground yet. But wherever these people end up, or whatever the future holds for them, I hope it's successful for them. I really hope their future is successful because that's what they deserve.
100%. And Paloma, last but not least, how are you feeling about these releases? Were they shocking to you, or do you feel that it was premature at all? Ooh.
Sorry, my phone fell.
We saw.
My phone fell. But I think I'm back. I know, I was like, whoops, my bad. It's kind of hard. Like, I feel the word deserved is has such a heavy connotation that obviously nobody really deserves to lose their job unless they blatantly did something bad. But I feel like if you really feel that these people who were released were super talented, then they're gonna be fine no matter where they go. If you're worried about them, then you probably don't think they're that talented. But if you really think that they're so good and that talented, then they're going to be that good and that talented no matter where they land.
Oh, 100%. And before we move into the overall review of Raw and SmackDown, I want to bounce something off of what Paloma just said. If you love these people and you think they're talented, and I'm sure that Shalonce, you can agree, as a wrestler, go support our stuff. Look at their social media, buy their merchandise, because if you want them to succeed, that's how you help people succeed in this business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And on that note,
and also, just wanted to point out too one more thing. Just because they got released, just because they got released right now doesn't mean they can never come back. There's been plenty of people who've been released who come back in WWE bigger and stronger than ever. So this is not the end of the road for so many of them. If anything, it's just the beginning of a new chapter.
Yeah.
Yep. And just good thing that Billie Kay had so many copies of her resume printed out already. So let's go ahead and jump into the review of what happened this week on Raw and SmackDown, because, on Raw especially, we got some pretty good amount of women's action, which is great considering it is 3 hours. So if we didn't get a lot of women's action, something is wrong. The first piece of ladies we saw on this show was Lana and Naomi taking on the team of Shania Payne. Not like most girls, and I will make that joke until I die. But in this match, we saw Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose walk out, distract Nia Jax, and then we saw Lana and Naomi get the win. This match I thought was a little fun. I just feel like this women's tag team division storyline is all over the place. There are so many different strings. Izzy, I see you nodding your head to that. How are you feeling about this match?
All right. So the women's tag team division, I feel like it's been a little bit overshadowed with what has been happening in the singles competition. When the women's tag team championship started, we saw the whole Ronda, Becky, and Charlotte feud, and that was big. Everybody was talking about that. I will say, I feel like Nia and Shayna, they're doing their best with like the women's tag team championships. I feel like when Mandy and Dana were showing everything that happened between the falls and everything, I feel like that was a little awkward because Corey Graves, he wasn't really sure what to say. The commentary wasn't helping it out. And I feel like it needed a little bit more of a wow factor, even though they were just showing some funny moments of when they fell. But I really hope that the women's tag team division, becomes something big, because it's something that is special and that we should really appreciate and just see where it goes from here. So I hope it gets really interesting. I want to see some new tag teams form. I want to see those odd couples because I love those type of storylines. So that's really what I want to see.
100%. And with it being all over the place, Shalonce, I want to toss it to you next on this one. One, how did you feel about this match? And then I want to ask you, and Paloma especially, do you feel like Mandy and Dana are working heel now after this?
Oh, okay. So starting with the last question before I forget that one. In their promo, they were like, "We're not the Mean Girls. We're blah blah blah." So I feel like they're heels because they're like the Mean Girls. I mean, they're wearing pink, but I think they're really trying to get back at Shayna and Nia. I don't know. So I guess they're kind of faces because they're standing up to the big bullies of the division. I don't know. It's interesting, and I think they're achieving what they're trying to achieve with making sure that we tune in, because I'm actually paying attention now because I have questions and I want the answers. So if that's what they're going for, great. But I still stand behind what I said before with the tag team division. I think that it would be great if they had true tag teams going for tag teams and let the singles wrestlers be singles wrestlers. Maybe work up a story as a single wrestler trying to be in a tag team, or maybe a feud or something causes for people to come together. So I'm really missing that story with a purpose. Now, I just feel like there's just stories because of stories, because they want to appease people, because we are saying we want to see more women. So, of course, they're like, well, you know what? We're just going to throw them all in together. And I'm like, not kind of, okay. So, I'm happy that Naomi and Lana picked up the win. But something that I noticed, which I'm not sure if this is intentional or is just me putting it together, it really does seem like Naomi and Lana are really trying to be a tag team.
Oh, 100%.
Like they're really coordinating things. They're really taking time into making like their tag moves and stuff unique. They don't quite have all the synergy together just yet. But if, we go with that whole notion I said, there needs to be tag teams and there needs to be singles. Those are two wrestlers that I really feel like they should just put them together, and they are known as a tag team.
Boom. I 100% agree with that. Paloma, your opinions on this match and the state of the tag division?
So this match, it was good, except with a couple of like weird kind of situations and spots. Sometimes I feel like Nia, when she sells, she just lays there. And I'm like, oh, and like actively sell, don't just die, you got this. And also that double suplex that I did, that looked dangerous. I kind of like flinched at it. I'm like, oh no, please don't drop both of them on their head. But would you agree that Lana and Naomi look great as a tag team? I kind of like they're going back and forth. They're quick tags. They do need just a little bit more, like especially Lana, a little bit more polish in the ring. But she looks good. I mean, she's moving in the right direction. I hope they work a little bit more as a tag team. And also, didn't really make sense on why they were facing Shayna and Nia, since they were like the first ones out in the tag team turmoil. So it didn't really make sense on why they were wrestling them. So all of a sudden, Reginald was off of TV for no reason, and all of a sudden he's back on TV for no reason. So I would like a little bit more consistency with storylines in the tag team division. I am excited for the possibilities of them, and I'm really excited that the women's titles now away from the tag team titles, so now they can have their own moment of shine. But there were some good spots of this match, or some not so good spots. The double face buster is super cute for a finish. I like that. But just want to see, actually really want to see a little bit more of Lana and Naomi and see what they can do.
I 100% agree with all of that. And I want to point out one thing. You said, like, where did Reginald go? He was gone for about 2 weeks. So that explains exactly where Reginald went.
Oh,
just a little bit.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did get to see Reginald later, but we'll talk about that when we get to SmackDown.
I'm so excited. I love Reginald.
Girl, you might be the only one. It might
I like him. I like him. He's talented. That match he did with Sasha, I was impressed. I was like, whoa, look at you go. I don't think he's bad. I think he brings a little bit of flavor to, I don't want to say the women's division, but he brings flavor to like the storylines that are happening in the tag team, the women's tag team division. I like that. And like I said, his match with Sasha, it was fun. Sure, it wasn't like full-blown match, like lockups and everything. I thought it was entertaining.
You know what? I stand
I'm going to own being the only person liking Reginald. So I'm going to own it. So
Love
I'm a
that.
one.
I love that so much.
It's just so random.
He's not. His suits are amazing. They're great. And I saw DS said Izzy with the hot take. Hot tag, my dude. Hot tag with your girl Izzy. Bam. But I like Reginald. I think he's fine. And
there you go.
I think he's great. He's fun. Like I said, his suits, they're fantastic. But I like him. And somebody said Izzy has better mic skills than Charlotte. Sir, Charlotte Flair, she's fantastic on the mic. I may be the only person that likes Charlotte Flair. I love Charlotte. I think she's great.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about her then, because
Yay!
on Raw, we got to see Asuka take on Charlotte Flair, and this match, Charlotte and Asuka just have this connection with me to where when these two women hop in the ring together, just the flow, the strikes, they land perfectly. I love seeing Charlotte and Asuka work each other. And then at the very end, we got to see it wrap up with Rhea Ripley causing the distraction to get Asuka a much-needed win in this division, which is great. But then we saw Charlotte attack the WWE officials, which resulted in Adam Pearce fining her $100,000 and then having her get suspended. Shalante, let's toss it to you first. Not how are you feeling about it? What did you think of that match, and what did you think of this conclusion?
First of all, I think she stole my gear color choice. I think she saw my gear and she was like, she wants it. So I'm a little bit salty about that. But you know what? Queens recognizes queens. So I really enjoyed the match. I know for a while I was hating on Charlotte, but I love her mic skills. I love how pompous and egotistical that she is. I love how she was just like, I am who I am. I hate that she lost it, but she did such a good job. Like, as a worker, I was just eating it up. I'm like, just give me more. Give me more. As a fan, I was like, you stop that. Who do you think you are? You need to stop. No one cares. And then, of course, Rhea. I love Rhea.
Daddy Rhea.
Wrong to me. I was shocked at how Rhea interfered. Mm-hmm. But I was just like, give Charlotte her due desserts. Like, come on now. Like, she interfered with y'all. Go ahead. So I loved it. I just ate it up.
Love that. Well, let's move on to the person who has a better promo than Charlotte, apparently, Izzy. How are you feeling after that Charlotte-Asuka match?
Okay, so I feel like I can watch Asuka versus Charlotte Flair every day. Maybe not every day, but every week on Monday Night Raw because they have such great chemistry together. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say something that I know everybody is going to be like, whoa, Izzy, calm down there. There's Charlotte Flair, and then there's everybody else. Charlotte Flair, she is the greatest. I am calling it now. And I know a lot of people are like, she gets handed opportunities. No, it's because of her talent, and it's because of how good she is. The box. And Charlotte, I love Charlotte, and I have seen the true evolution of Charlotte. I really have. I was at FTW, and I saw this girl walking around, and it was Charlotte. I'm being honest here. Charlotte is the greatest.
Hold on.
And it's
I respect this opinion, but right now I want to open up this discussion because clearly Shalante is not on board with your Charlotte Flair opinion. So y'all two, floor is open. Let's discuss some Charlotte Flair.
I respect her opinion. I respect your opinion. Charlotte, I'm not gonna lie. Charlotte has put in a lot of work. Charlotte is awesome. But to say there's Charlotte and then there's everyone else, oh my gosh.
Okay, so I'm looking at some of the comments. I'm reading the comments, and people are saying Sasha Banks is better than Charlotte Flair. Okay, listen, y'all. Do you see this headband up here? That's Sasha Banks stole it. I don't think a woman who steals headbands from little kids should be better than Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair has not stolen anything from a child. I'm just saying. So for y'all to say that Sasha is better than Charlotte, no. Sasha has all the talent in the world, but she does not steal things, or Sasha does steal things from children, and I don't like that. And who was the child that she stole the headband from? This chick right here. Book the match.
Oh my god!
But
I need
honestly,
that match. Please book it.
I know, me too. But going back to Charlotte, she is just on top of her game right now. And even though she was gone for a little bit because of COVID-19, I get it. It happens. This is the world that we're in. COVID-19, it is reigning superior right now, but we're going to get over this stuff. Charlotte, when she returned with that first promo, I felt it. And when she, what was it? This past week when she said that everybody is fake backstage with the, hey girl, I felt that. I literally felt that. And that's why Charlotte's promos, they're so unique and they have emotion in them. And I feel like that's the biggest part about promos. You got to have emotion and you got to change your tones. So I feel like that's what Charlotte did. She did that perfectly. And going back to this past segment with Charlotte, Rhea, and Asuka, I felt like Rhea, she was an afterthought. I really I like Rhea. I think there's so much to look forward to from her, but I felt like she didn't look like the champion. Charlotte and Asuka, they looked like two Raw Women's champions, not tag team champs, but two Raw Women's champs. And I don't know. I feel like Charlotte, she is creating her own evolution right now, and I think everybody else in the women's division better watch out. Hence why I said there's Charlotte Flair and there's everybody else.
Okay, real quick, because Paloma, for the sake of time, we need to get Paloma's opinion on this match, but I want to throw out real quick. Don't you come for my girl Rhea Ripley.
I love Rhea. I love Rhea. She's great. However, she did not look like the champion in that moment. She may look like the champion in other segments, then if so, good for you, girl. But Rhea did not look like the champion. I'm expecting Rhea to stomp into that ring and just.
But see, Rhea has to take her moments. She has to have her moments. True stars, true healers understand when it's their time and when it's someone else's. And that was Asuka's fight. To be fair, that was Asuka's fight.
But when you're, but I'm sorry. Wait, But when you're the champion, you take every opportunity. You take the opportunity that is at hand. And I feel like Rhea, she didn't do that. She was a complete afterthought. I mean, Asuka, what she said, me and my parents, we were all on the couch whoa, she said that. Charlotte, another dimension on her promo, not in a bad way, but I'm just saying, Rhea, I think we got to all say this and be honest, Rhea was an afterthought in this segment and in that segment. And I feel like, and I'm not hating on Rhea for being Raw Women's champ. I don't know. It's just Rhea. I don't know. Afterthought in that moment.
Okay.
We gonna have to go. We gotta talk.
All right.
Paloma's been silent for so long.
I feel so bad for everybody in the chat. I saw one comment before and somebody was like, Izzy is just here to start controversy. No, I'm not. I am speaking the truth because I see Twitter every day and I'm speak the truth, y'all.
Girl, this is probably way before your time, but as Bischoff said, controversy creates cash. So let's go ahead.
Give me that cash.
Paloma, let's move on to you and get your opinions on this match.
This match was so good.
What's happening?
Can you hear me? I'm just gonna
we can.
Talking like you guys can hear me. Okay. Charlotte and Asuka have great chemistry. There was a little bit of timing issues in this match, but they're so good and such professionals that they necessarily look like huge botches. There was just a few miscues, few timing issues, but nothing that I don't think she was necessarily needed there. I don't think she could just be champion and not be out there. So I think that's why it was a little bit of after the fact. She didn't have to be out there. So Charlotte is like Tom Brady. Everybody hates Tom Brady because he's so good, and everybody hates Charlotte because he's so good. They have the super spouses. They're super good at what they do, and I get it. While everybody has a different opinion, literally Charlotte is a Tom Brady of wrestling because they're so talented. And for what? Okay, for real, people, why do you hate them? Go ahead. Oh wait, because they're good. What? Like,
Girl, you took the words out of my mouth.
They'd be better. Like that just blows my mind.
You are not wrong on the Tom Brady comparison.
Because they're good. Like what? No.
This is it.
Like, they're both super hot. They both have super hot spouses, and they're both so good, and they both get hate because they are good, which blows my mind. Like, but I have Charlotte too. I mean, I think there's definitely other women who are talented, but I love Charlotte too. I'm with you, Izzy.
I'm looking at these comments. These comments, they're hilarious.
Don't look at the comments, girl. We'll look at some more in a second. We got to move on for just the sake of time because we ain't even got this.
I think we got a super chat too. I see a super chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will get to as many as I can because we got to talk about this wrestling show.
We got to go.
So real quick, just for the sake of time, because there wasn't much to talk about, can we do a quick thumbs up and thumbs down if you approve of Maryse being back with The Miz after this week? Okay, we got a double and then we got a neutral from Izzy. So we're all approved over here. Izzy, real quick hot take or hot tag from
hot
Izzy.
Tag.
Yeah. How you feeling about Maryse?
Okay, so listen. Hot tag, y'all, hot tag. I like Maryse. It's just I don't know. I feel like we've seen the whole Maryse coming back with The Miz before, so it's kind of like it's just like it feels like Deja Vu, which is a great song right now. It's a bop. Hits one. Yes.
Bop.
But I just feel like it's kind of like Deja Vu. We saw Maryse with Miz before, with Nikki Bella and John Cena. Let's not even get into that. I mean, before when it was the Divas division. So I feel like, it's just Groundhog Day. It's whatever. If it's going to add to the story and if it's going to be something that we're going to see that's going to be really cool, I'm down. I just, I feel like we've seen this before and it's just, and Maryse is doing like her own thing. Like she has her own skincare line.
I hate those commercials. I'm just going to throw it out. I hate those commercials so much.
And she's doing her own amazing thing. So I honestly feel like we don't have to see this again. But if it leads to something that's like, whoa, I'm all in.
Well, I guess we'll all switch to the Upon tea or whatever Maryse keeps telling me to drink instead of coffee. But let's go ahead and, for the sake of time, move on to something that's a little bit fresh and a little bit new and a little bit creepy. It is the Alexa Bliss Playground segments, which this week we got to see her talking to Lily, tell a story about how my favorite quote of all time, I pushed that little bitch off the swings, I popped so hard for that line. Y'all have no idea. But I'm really, really intrigued by this character to see where it might go. I'm just excited. Paloma, how are you feeling about Little Miss Bliss and her new friend, Lily?
Yay, we're getting Alexa Bliss back to the women's division. That's what I'm excited about. And to see her as like the feed of the women's division is going to be super fun and creative to see how she interacts with everybody else. I think this is the type of character that we haven't seen in the women's division in a really long time. So I'm excited for it. She's definitely developed into this character and is now a little more convincing in my idea. Also, I just love, shout out to whoever did the Photoshop job of putting Lily in the old pictures, and I love that Lily has had Alexa Bliss's logo.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, Paloma.
Ever since Alexa Bliss was like one, you guys disappeared. Sorry, y'all. Oh my god, I can't believe my connection's so bad.
Oh, it's okay. Once I see you getting back to normal, I'll come back to you. But right now, you're pretty freezing on us. But let's go ahead. Izzy, what is your take on Lily and Alexa Bliss?
I love this whole storyline with Alexa and Lily. I think it's something fun. Now I am wondering where will this go from here with the Fiend and Alexa Bliss. Like I'm kind of interested to see what happens. But I think it was I don't want to say it was funny, but it was just like it was a little bit, you can like laugh at it. But I thought it was like a really good and intense segment to get you very intrigued for what's about to happen with Alexa Bliss. And I love the whole photoshopping of Lily and Alexa's old pictures. I love that. I feel like they really went the extra mile to make sure that the storyline was perfect and that you got the whole storyline.
Agreed. And then still push her off the swing set. Favorite thing. But Shalonce, what's your opinion on Lily and Bliss?
No, I feel the same way. I really like it. I feel like it's very refreshing to see something different. And I'm really impressed. I don't know how many people touched on this because, again, sometimes I'm looking at things as a worker, sometimes I'm looking at it as a fan, and I am just so proud of her being able to be so versatile in her gimmicks. Like, she is so talented. That's why when Izzy, I'm not mad anymore, but when she was like this Charlotte Flair and everyone else, we can't forget about Alexa Bliss in her lane as well. She is so dynamic, and I respect that. But if I was a woman in the locker room hearing that, this would be me. Open bag, put stuff in, deuces, I'm outies, because I am not messing with that.
And that's saying something, girl, because you work in the company alongside Abaddon, so just saying. But
I'm outies.
All right, and I got to add to what she said about Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Alexa is great, but Charlotte, she's better. I love Alexa. She's a great person. Really sweet person, but Charlotte, top of the food chain, y'all. Top of the food chain, and I feel like we're going to see Charlotte at the top for a very long time, unless Ronda Rousey shows up, because if so, make way for Ronda, because...
Oh, no.
What?
Charlotte's better than Ronda.
Okay, so I get where you're coming from with Ronda. I'm only stopping the combo for sake of time because, y'all, we try to wrap it in an hour. We ain't even talked about SmackDown yet. So we need to go ahead and move on to SmackDown. But we'll go on. We'll stay on afterwards. Maybe we'll have to do like Raw talk after Ring the Bell Live or something like that. But let's go ahead and jump to SmackDown real quick and talk about what we got. While it wasn't much, everything really did have a purpose on SmackDown, which I really enjoyed. And let's start with Tamina versus Nia Jax. We saw the fan favorite of Izzy return. Reginald was back. And then, honestly, my favorite thing of the night, hands down about this match, Natty's outfit on SmackDown, y'all. Oh my God. I loved it. Girl, you rolled those eyes real quick.
I don't know. One of my favorite outfits, or I should say ring gear, that Natty wore was the one with like the jacket with like all the spikes on it.
Oh yeah.
I thought she looked like she was about to kill somebody, and I was here for it. I thought she looked great. Now, Natty, she always looks great, but her ring gear this time, I wasn't a big fan, but she usually has really cool ring gear, I will say.
Oh, I loved it. I was like eleganza, but we saw Tamina pick up a much-needed win afterwards. Paloma, let's toss it to you. First off, opinion on Natty's outfit, and then what'd you think of the match?
I love Natty's outfit. I actually even put that in my notes that I love the way Natty looked. And also, Nia's makeup was so good today on SmackDown. I don't know what she did different, but her makeup was really, really good. I liked how she looked. The match itself, we've seen it a lot lately, and while it was a good, much-needed win for Tamina, I actually don't think it made her look strong. It was yet another distraction finish, and that's not really how you build up somebody. I'm all here for the Tamina push, but if you're going to push her, make her look strong. Don't make her like, oh, she's being pushed and winning out of luck and out of coincidence. I want her to win strong matches and win them like purposely. And I don't think this match really showcased that. I just hope they keep on pushing her and keep on pushing her, actually looking strong, as opposed to like, oh, she just got lucky and got to roll up with him because she was distracted or something like that. But I'm hoping to see more of her being showcased in a stronger light.
100% agree with you on her looking strong, because as far as I can really remember, they always tell us how strong Tamina is. They always put over how strong she is.
Exactly.
But like when she was throwing Nia's head back into the barrier, I was like, there's that Tamina I've been looking for. And I dug it. Shalance, what are you thinking about Tamina and Nia this week?
I'm happy that Tamina picked up a victory. I was distracted a little bit by commentary. I feel like commentary was a little bit weak. They mentioned something like about Shayna's leather jacket, and I'm like, what is that? Did I miss something? Is it important? And then when like Tamina, yes, I kicked Shayna in the back or whatever, but Shayna was getting like upset at Reginald, but then Shayna sold her mouth or something, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. It just, there was a lot of weak components in the match itself, but I'm interested. I want to know what's going on.
I was also distracted by commentary, and it was solely just because Pat McAfee is a pretty man. And that was literally it for me. But I totally agree on that little finish as well. It seemed a bit like that kick was a lot softer than it was supposed to be, and I think that might have been what triggered it. I also found it weird that Shayna got directly mad at Reginald for that loss as opposed to anything else. Izzy, you're a resident Reginald expert, apparently. Do you feel like that was a good solid finish for Reginald?
It puts him in harm's way because Reginald, he needs to be protected, y'all. Like, I love Reginald, and I hope nothing bad happens to him. I will say I am liking this stronger version of Tamina, because I feel like we haven't been seeing that too much. Like, we haven't been seeing that Tamina, like that strong Tamina. I feel like we finally saw like that strong and powerful Tamina, and it was good to see. I was like, yes, you get it, girl. But overall, I thought the match, it was good. There were definitely some distractions. And going on to with the commentary, I have been enjoying Pat McAfee and Michael Cole on commentary. I'm a big fan of Pat McAfee. I think he has so much talent, from going to the football field to in the ring to commentary. I find that very impressive. So I enjoy him on commentary, and it's something new to look forward to, but also something that's going to be a little bit different, and I'm all about a little bit of different stuff.
I full on support that, especially when you compare it to Adnan on Monday Night Raw, who's, oh my goodness. And it makes me giggle every time. But let's go ahead and move on to let's go ahead and move on to our final thing that happened on SmackDown, because ding dong, hello, we had Bayley pop up.
Wait, we're gonna get official. Oh my god, we're gonna get the. Can I get the picture? So wow, we're gonna try.
Are we getting the headband?
We're getting the headband out. I haven't gotten the headband out in a while, so this is special. I'm just saying.
Special.
And
honored for doing it.
Y'all are probably wondering, why did I put on the headband? I think it's on the wrong side. I don't know. I don't remember. This is bad. First off, when Bayley was doing that whole sweet talk thing I'm seeing how ridiculous I look now. But when Bayley was doing the whole sweet talk thing to Bianca, it reminded me of old Bayley. And that's why I had to put on the headband. It felt like old Bayley when she would, she would be like, oh, I'm so happy you made history. Even though she actually meant it, and now she really doesn't. I felt so nostalgic in that moment. I was like, yes, we're feeling the old Bayley. But I'm really happy that Bayley is getting a title shot at WrestleMania Backlash, because I feel like she deserves it. She didn't have a match at WrestleMania. I know that everybody was complaining about that. And she had those small moments with the Hall of Famers. But I'm just happy that she's back in the ring. I feel like she deserves it. This is her time. Do I think she's going to win? Probably not, since this is Bianca's first title defense. However, I'm just really happy for her. And I see we lost Paloma too.
Oh, we did. Apparently, she was not feeling Bayley. Hold on,
I should take this off. I'm gonna take this. Oh wait, she's back. She's back.
Is she back?
I'm gonna take this off because this looks ridiculous.
It's okay. Once she is back on, I will bring Paloma back, but I'm going to go ahead and make it just the three of us for the moment. Wait. Do we got Paloma? I think so. She's like on the screen. Let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and move on to the Bayley thing. I loved this Bayley promo. I thought this was so much fun, especially at the very end with Montez walking up with the cell phone and then talking to Bianca. And Bianca's like, I'll be right there. I popped so hard for that line. No lie. I thought it was fantastic. And then to top it all off, I don't know exactly what it was that made me love it so much, but that little suck up thing that Bayley did to Bianca, to follow it up with that, I don't even know what to call that laugh, but I loved it. I thought everything about this was fantastic. And I think Bayley got an extra $5 every time she said WrestleMania Backlash or something.
So true. I totally agree with you. Now, I saw in the comments somebody was like, oh, they didn't build up her title opportunity. And I agree with them. It was just kind of like, hey, everybody, Bayley's getting a title opportunity. I would have rather seen this build up where it was like, oh, snap, Bayley's back. But we better watch out. Like I would have rather see that, but maybe in the like next episodes of SmackDown, we might see like Bayley just mow through the women's division and then like go on to face Bianca, and then it's kind of like, oh, could Bayley win? She's been having this great streak recently, so that's my hope. But you never know what could happen.
Oh, I 100% agree with that. Shalance, were you as big of a fan of these promos as we were?
I enjoyed him, but I'm just interested. I'm sitting back, and then I'm like, okay, he petty. He went and put her on the phone, got on speaker. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cute, and that's hilarious. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
I can't wait either. I agree with Izzy. I think there should have been more build up because honestly, you've got Bayley and Bianca, and both of these girls can talk like so.
Yes,
well.
they really can.
I mean, I need some more promos in my life. I think this is going to be a hilarious feud. And I think we might have Paloma back in just a second. But let's go ahead and move on to answering just a few super chats before we log off of here. Guys, if we don't get to your super chat, I'm so sorry. But for the sake of time, we're going to get through as many as possible.
We got about 3 minutes. We're
going to go. So, Jaden Franklin, do you guys think it will be Rhea versus Asuka at WrestleMania Backlash because of Charlotte's suspension, or do you think it's a triple threat? For sake of time, I think it's going to be a triple threat. Shalance, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a triple threat, or someone's going to get injured and can't do anything.
I'm saying, Izzy, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go with triple threat too.
I also think triple threat. I think some way we're going to see Charlotte weasel her way back into this. And then let's see what other super. I know we have some more. I'm trying to scroll through all these comments. You guys have been very, very talkative today.
Am I back?
Is girl. People are coming real quick for this stance on Charlotte and Reginald.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, somebody had to say it at some point, everybody. No offense. I am so sorry.
Am I back?
You are back, girl. You're here.
You guys, for sake of time, we have 1 minute left, and I have run out of feed to find these super chats. I am so sorry. We love you. We will get to them as best we can next week. But until then, let's go ahead and wrap this all up by saying thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Ring the Bell Live. Y'all, this has been fun. I don't think I popped harder than I did for a headband. Today, I thought I kind of marked out for a headband a little bit, no lie. But Izzy, since we're talking about the headband, where can people find you across social media?
Well, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Pro Wrestling Tees. Across the board, It's Izzy Mania. Make sure you put in the it. I have my weekly show, The Hot Tag, with your girl Izzy, where I talk about NXT and AEW. So make sure you go follow me.
We lost Paloma again, but Shalonce, where can the people find you?
You can also find me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Pro Wrestling Tees, Twitch at @FightingSiren_R, or type in Shalonce Royale or the Fighting Siren. You're gonna find me somewhere.
That might be my favorite social media plug I have ever heard. You go find me somewhere. It makes me so happy.
Find me somewhere.
Somewhere.
And you guys, you can find me at Joey_Mayberry on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me at Joey.Mayberry on TikTok. And check out my podcast with Tommy Per, Tops and Bottoms, where we get really gay and talk about pro wrestling each and every Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Oh, do we have Paloma back so she can say goodbye? I think so. Paloma, do you want to shout out where the people can find you?
I'm back. I'm so sorry. My phone froze. Yes, you can find me at Paloma Star on Instagram and Twitter with 2 R's. I uploaded 6 matches to my YouTube channel, so check out my YouTube channel, Paloma Star. And tomorrow at Galley in Chicago, Illinois, you can catch me watching and wrestling some lucha libre. And shout out to Atomico Jr., who I know is watching. He'll also be at the show tomorrow. And I'm so sorry for my super terrible connection.
It's okay. We love you. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week for
guys.
another
Love y'all.
of Ring the Bell.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.